Hey everyone, HK here. We're going to be doing a gameplay analysis between me and Mr. Styx from our set last weekend on Saturday from the March Spring Split live event. Mr. Styx, up and coming player, just recently reached Superstar. I had the honor of training him way back in the Prodigy MSBL 101 tournament, and he's been on the rocket ship up ever since, grinding rated Q to the point where the student and the teacher almost the same, really. I mean, in the last week leading up to this tournament, we went 7 and 7 in rated games and 3 and 3 in rated sets. So pretty even matchup. And coming into the tourney, actually, Styx felt, I guess, a little bit nervous in Twitch chat about playing me. I felt a bit nervous about playing him. His Birdo has been giving me problems non-stop. And so coming into this matchup, it could really go either way, and it's really critical here to land every tackle and such. But luckily, game one, Styx didn't pull out the Birdo. He came with the classic meta team using that Bowser in the back, also been a thorn in my side. And we're just two players very familiar with one another's playstyle, so let's dig in here into what happens. So Styx comes out really fast with the cross pass. Really easy goal for him. It requires really minimal setup, and this is the bread and butter of a lot of players going into the game. So let's look back here at how this actually happened. I mean, that's the thing. You have to go back, look at these goals, try to analyze it, right? So let's go back to the kickoff. So right at the kickoff, I dodge in. Styx chooses to tackle. Really critical at kickoff to be decisive in your action. So I mean, immediately I'm at a numbers disadvantage because Walu's knocked down. Pauline and her homie Peach, they're both moving in this direction because, CPU, they don't know crap, so they're going to dig in there. And then we're going to see it's off to the races. Styx has a 3-on-1. I tackle Pauline with Peach here, but that doesn't really matter now because now we have DK in the back. He's guarding this Toad, so I mean, he can either slide downwards to try to steal the ball or just be aggressive on this top Toad. And Toad has the easy pass to the other Toad. And Pauline's so far, I mean, she's not going to get there in time to tackle. So I whiff the tackle. I try to switch and tackle with Pauline, but this is way too slow. And Styx doesn't even need the perfect pass. He just freely passes here, and boom, that's an easy goal. So I mean, what I could have done differently there is just either land that DK tackle, slide backwards, or very critically at kickoff, not have dodged in with Walu to eat that Pauline tackle, right? So now I recover the ball, pass it down to DK. I'm trying to find an opening, but Styx is doing a really good job pressuring here. But he whiffs the tackle with Bowser. So, I mean, that's just, you can't miss that easy tackle. He's a big body, he tackles towards the ball, but Walu's running the other way. And so I get lucky, tie up the game. Here, yeah, we see again. Similar type of setup. I could bring it back down to DK, but this time Peach comes back up. And I get a little bit more room to operate. So I'm still looking for that space here, trying to dodge a few tackles to give me that space. And yeah, let's go back here because I think this is a really, really poor play. I mean, every time in these matchups you get a chance, you need to really make every possession into either a goal or a really high percentage shot. And taking this play, I'm coming across with Peach. I now have the numbers disadvantage because Pauline is down here. And Toads, I mean, this Toad is kind of out of the game. Nobody is close to him. So I have two attackers on this side. Bowser can't cover both. This should be pretty easy, right? But Pauline kind of swings around this way because of the AI, and I take a lousy shot with Walu when I could have actually just passed again to Pauline, and she would have been in a great position to score. This is almost like a box pass. So hit that shot button way too early there. Wasted opportunity. But Pauline gets it back, luckily, and I don't lose the ball. But yeah, again, taking that lob shot here with Pauline, that's not really optimal, right? Another wasted possession. I'm stuck fighting for the ball in the corner. And now Styx, he gets a free bomb. He gets a free item out of this, which is not exactly great. And here he tries to use that bomb. Luckily he whiffs, and I'm able to stop that Titan. Yeah, so I bounced off the wall. Again, you'll notice, like, when you're in these games, you get really repetitive actions here, right? This sequence is pretty similar to the one I just called out before. Bounce off the wall, right? I quickly get the ball away from Pauline because Toad's coming in. But here, man, Walu is not going to sink this shot most of the time. And I don't know if you noticed, but here I really didn't charge completely. Like you can see that I'm not even pressing A completely. So I gave too minimal charge to even make this shot. Boom Boom just picks this up and another wasted possession, right? So 2 wasted possessions here. If those were 2 goals, I would be way ahead, right? Um, so very important to make use of those. That wasn't a bad angle, but again, I didn't charge the shot effectively before the ball came in, and so Pauline's not going to land that. And there I get saved by the team tackle, which recovers the ball for me. But yeah, let's go back here too, because I think this is another important point. You really can't afford to lose balls off of Boom Boom throw-ins and stuff like this, right? So Boom Boom recovers the ball completely here, and he kicks it out. Here, like, so I mean, this is just unfortunate AI, right? Styx gets 3 characters here. So really, he just needs to pick one and commit to an action, and it's unlikely I'll be able to do anything because my characters are kind of spread out in this line and not really on top of the ball. So we go in, and Styx just gets the easy team tackle. Not much I can do about that other than maybe back up Pauline, recognizing that I can't win the ball there. Luckily, Styx gives up the ball, and I recover. I send it on ahead to Walu, and again, this is the 3rd time this has happened, right? Like, we go backwards. And Peach to Walu here, I can see, like, so I saw this Toad here, and I was afraid. I land, I just give up the ball. But there's another option. I could try passing back to DK, or, like, trying to dodge. But, again, kind of suboptimal shot. Probably didn't need to lob it forward, right? Because I kind of stretched myself thin there. And Styx almost gets the rebound there, but I shut it down with DK, and now we're back. Really looking for this goal, and you can tell how close this matchup is. Luckily, I mean, I find a little bit of space with Pauline here. So, let's see. What could have happened differently for Styx here? Alright, so we go down. I'm at a numbers disadvantage. Walu's down over here. DK sends it up to Peach, and Styx immediately switches to Pauline, trying to pressure Peach. So I hand it off to Pauline on the other end. And now we have a strength mismatch because this Pauline is 25 strength. It's going to take Toad a bit of time to charge the tackle. So now, while Toad is a little bit slower while charging the tackle, and that's important to remember, when you're holding down the charge button for the tackle, you lose a little bit of speed and mobility. So I use that to kind of maneuver around and get a lucky dodge. I think this is just a bad read by Styx. If he landed the tackle, he would have just completely shut it down. But also another important thing to note, this Pauline is captain, so what she's trying to do here is push ahead and reset with Bowser since the ball is so far away from her, right? And this is always a dangerous situation to be in. If you read my post about the box formation, you gotta really maintain formation. Otherwise, your AI is gonna get scattered like this. Like Walu's making this run. But now, because of the switch, actually, Walu is wide open. So even if I didn't take this shot with the top shot here, I could have just sent it down to Walu, and Walu would have had a lot of space. Because as we see here, I mean, Pauline eventually ended up falling, but Bowser was just in the middle of no man's land. So, yeah, I mean, not much you can do about that once you miss that tackle. So we head into the final 2.5 minutes. I'm up 2-1. And again, just kind of looking for space. I should have taken the Titans there, so again, another wasted opportunity. That's what I get for coming into the tourney a bit jittery. Luckily, I pick up the ball there. Styx kind of just gave it away. And again, just trying to find that space because it's a bit too tight. So let's go back to this wasted possession here. So here I am in the corner. Nobody really on me. The better option would obviously be to just Titans this. but I see Bowser coming in, and I get a bit too jittery. If I had Titan Assist, I actually think Boom Boom would have moved enough to block this Bowser threat, in which case I could have gotten it for free. But instead here, I thought I was being smooth and cross-passing it over to Pauline, but Styx reads me like a book, already has it covered. And I get an item out of this, which I can use to recover the ball, but still, that was blown up. So yeah, this time I go down and make the right decision, but I mess up the Titans. So we're again back and forth, trying to look for these openings. Yeah, so, I mean, I just win the item exchange there, and there's not much Styx can do at that point. Yeah, at that point, it's really critical not to tackle too aggressively, and that's always risky with Bowser, right? Bowser's going to hit characters who you don't intend just because he has that big box. And if you lose the item war, it's going to be free like that. Yeah, so let's go back here, because I thought this was a good play by Styx. So, going all the way backwards, let's see if we can find what the problem is. So, immediately I kick off. Styx walks a little backwards with Pauline. I know that Styx likes this triangle pass, so he's going to pass a Toad, who's going to perfect pass it to the other Toad on the wing. And since he knows that Toad is way too far for a shot, he instead holds on to the ball. Now, I immediately switch to Pauline, and I could go here and pressure Toad, but I take a wide turn, and instead of like hammering side forth, and then I charge the tackle when I could have just tap tackled. If I tap tackle right there, it would have been done, right? Like Styx didn't dodge. He has very little space. Tap tackle would have just, it would have been over. Yeah, he dodges right now, but I mean, by that time it's so late. And here is the problem with charging. So you can see here, it takes at least 3-4 frames for Pauline to get into that slide. And so while the end of the slide is kind of fast, the beginning of the slide, the startup is kind of slow, and that gives Styx enough time to move it over here. And instead of buffering my switch and already being on DK, I remain on Pauline for a bit too long. See, I'm all the way through this slide, I'm still on Pauline. And it's not until Pauline gets the ball that I switch over to DK. So, two things there. You can buffer your switches, switch earlier. Two, really use tap tackle and just basic charge tackle quicker. Like your choice between tackle makes a big difference because of how quickly the tackles come out. There, shouldn't have taken that lob shot again by Peach. You have the option to reset, control the ball. Every possession needs to land in a good shot to win those games. And again, I mean, right here, right, playing a little bit too fast. So we come backwards and Pauline takes a step forwards, but let's see. I send it from Walu to Peach. One, this is a little bit risky, obviously. Bowser's right here, Toad's coming in, so Peach is going to be squashed. So I hand it over to Pauline. Now, Pauline could have just handed it to Walu. I mean, this Toad is down. Walu's wide open, and all three of Styx's characters are down here. So that would have probably been the better option, but I was afraid that Walu would go back. So that one is busted. Styx comes down on the other corner, tries to find a shot with Pauline, but it's a bad angle. Tries to go again. Again, badly angled shot. So this was a pretty close game. I mean, Styx had a few opportunities where he could have just won the game, or at least tied it. And there he just gets unlucky. Pauline gets up, and that lob pass is free. There's not really much you can do about that, other than just be mindful of where the characters are and try to retreat your character. Yeah, and so now it's just a matter of shutting down Styx's opportunities, save the 2-goal lead. He gets a bomb there, but Toad was down, so didn't really get to use it effectively, and then that Titans was just too hasty. So I get the pass up to Pauline again. Those passes up, what we talk about, like quick tempo, they're risky, right? I mean, when you're in that situation, it's if you can't dodge well, like I can't, then you're just giving up the ball potentially. But this game ends 4-2 me, and we move on into game 2. So a few things from that game. One, you saw how a few of those possessions were just wasted. really could have used those possessions more effectively. I ended up taking 12 shots, but only scoring 4 goals. That's 33% effective rate. I mean, you really want to get up there to like 70, 80, or even higher in order to have good opportunities to beat top players. Because if you're only making 1 out of 3 shots and your opponent is tightening, they're going to beat you. They're just going to beat you out of possession. Um, so yeah, we move into game 2. I keep the same team. Styx moves into Birdo now, because he's had good success against me with Birdo, and Birdo has been a thorn in my side, like I was saying earlier. And so we move this time. We both choose to dodge, but I dodge in the wrong direction for some reason, and Styx comes out with possession. So I immediately tackle Birdo here, trying to get rid of that option. And luckily I recover the ball and don't give Styx really too much opportunity to use that red shell and get a free pass to Birdo. So here I'm just trying to retain possession, and luckily get a good opening there onto Pauline. So let's go backwards and see what Styx could have done differently to cover this, because, I mean, I think in most cases, like, you wouldn't need to see that. Let's see. Yeah, so here's there's kind of two gaps here. One is, again, we talked about tap tackle versus charge tackle, and when you're taking this far charge tackle, it's actually going to take a while, right? Like you're leaving the opponent several frames because that tackle is going to take a while to reach DK. Um, so I mean, you just don't want to be in this position, but because Styx is playing Birdo, he can't just switch to Birdo and tackle DK, so he has to bring Bowser up, which gives a lot of free space. And then here, I immediately switched to Peach. I guess by the time Styx already launched and gave the input for the tackle, he should have switched. And he kind of did that, but he lands on Pauline, and Pauline's in the middle of no man's land, so now he's got a hedge, either go to Peach or Pauline. In this situation, I would have said he should have taken Pauline back and covered my Pauline, because Peach is not going to do anything out here in terms of a shot, right? She's going to need to set up someone else or go for the Titans, in which case, at least by moving Pauline back, you kind of cover the immediate shot option. But it's hard to know that this Pauline is going to make that shot, right? Sometimes Boom Boom maybe will stop that, because in those type of straight line scenarios, he can sometimes be okay. So yeah, we can see here Boom Boom just chooses the bad option, lazily sticks his leg out, and completely whiffs. So Styx comes back, tries to use the Birdo charge shot with the red shell. Luckily he misses here for me. And now it's just a matter of, again, finding those openings and whiffing those tackles. And that was just my bad, right? Like, I whiffed 2 tackles in this play, which really cost me. So let's look at these. One was this DK. I mean, DK went down for nothing. And so that means I lost a lot of pressure because DK is a big body to put out there. 2, I mean, look at where I am. So there's 3 players here. It's a one-on-one in the corner with Birdo. And I'm on DK. I have this bomb here. I could have used the bomb and just immediately nailed Birdo, but I didn't have good item recognition. For some reason in my mind, I remember when playing this game that I thought the bomb was Styx's, and so I didn't use it. I whiffed the tackle, and the charge tackle comes into it. If I just used the bomb, that would have nullified the entire play. So item awareness there really needs to be on point in order to cover those scenarios, especially in those types of clutch scenarios, because the item can show up right at the key moment, and you just need to be spamming Y. So here I get with DK in the corner. Styx doesn't cover it quite so well. He goes for that charge tackle with Bowser and comes out a bit too late. And this triangle pass is just a Birdo favorite, right? I mean, if you get the triangle pass with Birdo and you aim it right, then it's just free. So the reason I'm kind of slow playing these is because I know that Birdo can't tackle. And that's really critical, right? Because that's the biggest weakness of these Birdo comps, is that if you're running Birdo with low strength and relatively low speed, she can't really defensively cover me. So once I have the lead, I can really slow play like Loaf and just try to squeeze the time to get good opportunities. So again, like, Birdo's coming, but I have all the time, but I take a bad shot with Walu, and that's been the story of the last 2 games, actually. I mean, the previous game is the same thing. Lucky for me, Styx misses the shot, and it turns into an easy Titans opportunity to secure the 2-goal lead. But taking those mid shots with Walu has been kind of bad. You know, I've wasted at least 5 possessions on it. 5 shots, 5 shots. You know, if those were 5 goals, these games would have looked very, very different. There, I just, you know, quickly get the tackle on Birdo, and the whole reason I'm playing this comp actually is because I thought Styx would go Birdo, and you can see how deadly he is with Birdo here. Like, this was a really small opening, but because Styx is so accurate with Birdo, he can make use of this. So again, this is a different form of the triangle pass. He passes to Bowser. I'm trying to run with Peach, and this is a big mistake. This is something you shouldn't see. If this character is covering this character, like in this case Peach is covering Bowser Jr., you're trying to run backwards, cover this whole ground. Peach is not a big body, high strength. She's going to take a long time to get there, and the ball moves much faster than Peach. So what I should have done is switch to DK, and then DK could have just, DK here could have just taken Birdo. But, you know, we make some wrong decisions sometimes. And you can see Peach gets there, but a little bit too late, and Birdo just nails a shot. If DK had done that tackle and I'd switched, again, would have just killed it. And that goes back to the rotation, right? You want to think about switching first before chasing. Chasing is really risky. You can really mess up your rotation and really cause a lot of issues for your AI by just chasing all around the field. And so here, again, Birdo really not strong on defense. Misses that slide tackle because she has no strength. But he does get the shot off, but it's a poor angle. And so I'm just trying to find that opening. And luckily, I'm finding that space just because when in doubt, I pass to whoever Birdo's on. But this was a lazy play by me, so I give up an item, and I'm lucky it's just a shroom here, because if it was something else, it could have cost me. Because if Styx had landed that pass on Birdo, that could have been the tying goal he was looking for. Alright, so I get the ball to Pauline. And this wasn't a bad shot, but the rebound I could have saved and passed away. Like, the first shot was fine, but the rebound shot was unnecessary. Yeah, and Styx here, he tackles instead of using the item, which was a mistake, because if he used the item, then I couldn't have defended it, right? But I guess the bomb would have prevented him from getting a quick ball to pass off to Birdo. And again, I pre-tackled Birdo here, just trying to give myself a little bit of opportunity, and luckily it barely works out. Boom Boom saves the ball there. So again, abusing that Birdo, trying to find the space, but I just don't do a good job here of really finding the space. I walk into that Bowser tackle, which cost me severely because here, yeah, I managed to get the ball up, but again, walk into a Bowser tackle, and now it's we're in danger season. Styx has a green shell. He passes it up to Bowser Jr. And Bowser Jr. to Pauline for the tying goal with 6 seconds left. 6 seconds. So you can see how quickly the tide turned just from those few mistakes, like on those possessions. I didn't really make the most of those opportunities. Now we're at 3-3 and in golden goal. Here, Walu misses a tap shot. That was just my bad on the aim, and boom, Styx comes back just like that in the final 6 seconds to take game 2. And so that's dangerous, right? Like, I mean, 10 shots, 4 goals, he recovered, especially in those last minutes. And again, this goes back to I didn't make the most of those opportunities in the game. If you lose those possessions and take low percentage shots, like those Walu, like midfield shots, etc., you're going to end up in those tight situations, and those are painful, especially if I pass into a Bowser tackle, etc. Those are just situations you don't want to be in, right? So it's really critical. So I get lucky off here to get start. Styx misses a tackle, and I'm able to convert that into a goal. And again, he's just not getting lucky with the Birdo positioning, the Birdo RNG in getting those shots. Like, every touch by Birdo almost should be a shot. So, yeah, again, find the opening in the Birdo defense and take the Titans. So at least at the opening here, I was pretty efficient. I didn't take as many midfield Walu shots, so we're already seeing that pay some dividends. Other than that one was bad. Yeah, I mean, it looked okay because Boom Boom gave the rebound, but definitely should not have taken the rebound shot. And here it cost me because Styx immediately passes it back into the Birdo. So I'm not going to bother going and replaying that, but the obvious thing was don't take the Walu rebound shot and give up possession for free. So here I get lucky. He takes it with Birdo in the backfield, and so I can just nail Birdo, which, yeah, she can't come up for a while. And Pauline gets a decent look, but can't convert. So now I have the item, the get out of jail free card. And this time I remember to use it, but I missed the follow-up tackle with DK. Yep, and again, Titans. And so you can already see here the pace of the game is a little bit changing. Like those tight Titans, which I didn't take before, I'm trying to get them in. And you can see here it's working out pretty well. My offense is already pretty efficient. Got this 2-goal lead. And Birdo, while being dangerous, right, like is still less efficient than just taking a good Titan. So yeah, here I'm playing with the ball a little bit too much. So I reset it, trying to find space. And luckily he misses his tackle, which allows me to recover the ball again. And you can see this possession is really long now. I mean, just because Birdo doesn't have any threat on defense, I can recover the ball repeatedly. And even though I'm not quite getting the opportunities I need here, I'm still kind of delaying the game. It's almost been like a 15-20 second possession. Yeah, and Birdo's so weak that Pauline got the star there. And now I've recovered the ball again. Almost this entire, like, second minute has been my possession. So it gets ahead to Birdo, but bad angle. Those middle of the field shots, I don't think go in quite as often as the side of the field shots for Birdo. And yeah, it's just hard to cover. You can see there, Birdo missed a tackle. I tried to slide. That was a really poor move, actually. I could have been punished for it if Styx was playing a bit of a higher passing comp around Birdo, like David likes running passing Pauline. But I kind of took the opportunity there, knowing that he doesn't have that. Yeah, so I'm just being overly cautious at this point, trying to make sure Birdo at least doesn't beat me. And Styx misses a green shell there, and at least another Titans. So again, like on that Birdo side, especially with Walu, once she's charging tackle, it's just game over, right? Walu's going to beat her almost every time, so you got to take those Titans. And here, Styx gives up the ball for free, but I don't do a good job of retaining possession. And he gets the red shell off, and straight into Birdo. So now we're getting into the danger zone. I mean, 2 goals. You saw how quickly Styx got up in the last set, or last game. Yeah. And here I'm just playing with the ball a bit too much, right? Like, that was very close to just being a goal. And then we're back to the same situation from last game. Luckily here, he misses a team tackle, and now we got a 3-goal lead. But yeah, just really heavily pressuring whatever side Birdo is on with Walu, right? Birdo's here, so I know that Birdo can't tackle, and he has to bring Pauline or someone else over to help. And there I make a bad missed tackle, but luckily it doesn't convert. I'm a little bit more relaxed here, just trying not to give too many items because I know that I have the 3-goal lead and now the 4-goal lead. And yeah, that's all she wrote because Styx left the game after this. So that's a bit of a thorough walkthrough of this game. I know a little bit boring, but I'm just trying to test my editing skills on this one. So hopefully in later rounds, we'll see better editing and a bit more active like video commentary. But I think the general gist of watching this set is that, one, when stopping Birdo, really key to make use of switching rather than making use of things like chasing Birdo, right? You don't want your characters to get out of position. That's really the key to stopping shooters. And then 2, don't take bad shots. I mean, It's easier said than done because you see this in every game. People increase the tempo. They think any good shot, like any shot is good. And here, just those few missed shots were the difference between winning and losing game two, right? Taking those few, like 2 to 3 midfield Walu shots that didn't work out. If those were Titans, if those were retained possessions, things could have been a lot different. And so those are the two main takeaways for me from this set, right? You got to control the tempo, you got to take good shots, and switch rather than chase. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Signing off for this one. Have a good one.